Straight ahead at 6, OSBI investigating whether remains found in Stephen County are connected to an 8-year-old homicide investigation.
Plus, the man suspected of kidnapping an Ardmore girl is charged in court today.
It happens to all of us.
How pickpocketers can steal your information without ever touching your credit card. News 12 at 6 starts in 60 seconds.
The only newscast in true high definition, broadcasting live from 12 studios. This is News 12 at 6 p.m.
So we came out here today to do some further excavating and more methodical search to see if there's any additional human remains.
The new evidence in a homicide investigation. Good evening and welcome to News 12 at 6. I'm Dan Thomas.
And I'm Maureen Kane. OSBI says drought conditions may have led to the discovery of human remains in rural Stevens County in March. Now, they're back at that location, digging deeper to solve a homicide that's several years old. Lauren Smith was on the scene. She brings us the details. Lauren.
Dan and Maureen, OSBI says they believe the remains belong to a woman who went missing back in 2006. I caught up with them today as they work to uncover further evidence. I also spoke with the man whose grandson found the remains this past spring.
3 of my grandsons went on that pond fishing because the neighbors let them go over and fish. And the water had got down, it was getting pretty low. And they happened to look down and see some bones, and they thought at first it was a turtle shell.
Yoel Magby says when his grandsons brought a skull up to the house for him to look at back in March, he had no idea they had just uncovered new evidence in a suspected homicide case dating back 8 years.
I've seen animal skulls and stuff before, but that didn't look like the same. So I got on a phone and called the sheriff's office in Duncan. And they come out and looked, and sure enough, it comes out to be a human skull.
Everything that we've found out here we believe to be related to our investigation and the death of Rose Bagley.
Assistant Special Agent with OSBI Beth Green says 55-year-old Rose Bagley was reported missing in May 2006. 2 months later, some of her remains were discovered in this rural area of Stevens County, and authorities began investigating her death as suspicious. In March of this year, more of her remains were found on this same property near Bailey Road and Sand Hill Road.
Animal activity comes into play in spreading their remains so that we don't have necessarily an intact body. That's not what we were working with back then, and that's why we're continuing to do work now, is to try to uncover additional remains.
Green says severe drought conditions played a key part in the discovery of the remains.
That certainly has assisted us. We additionally have drained the pond in preparation for today and for this week's excavation.
She says no charges have ever been filed in the case, and they hope their work this week will help them zero in on a suspect.
Certainly we're looking to have enough information to be able to charge somebody and prosecute them. We're wanting justice for Rose and her family.
Agent Green says they plan to be on site in Stevens County for the rest of the week, excavating the scene. Live in the Ardmore studio, Lauren Smith, News 12.
The man suspected of kidnapping a little girl in Ardmore remains in jail after being formally charged in court this afternoon.
News 12's Amy Jensen was there and joins us now live at the Carter County Jail with why today's charges may not be the only ones he'll face. Amy?
Maureen and Dan, Fount Destin was formally charged today with kidnapping a 7-year-old girl in Ardmore Saturday afternoon. His bond is set for $750,000, and he must wear a GPS monitoring device, and he cannot have contact with anyone under the age of 18.
She's a very courageous girl, and we've been in contact with her family, and I would just ask everybody to keep her in their thoughts and prayers. Very grateful that she's been returned, but it was a very scary ordeal for her, so she's very much a victim.
Investigating multiple leads in this case, Ladd does not believe that there are any other suspects involved, but he does anticipate more charges to be filed on top of the already to-be-filed charges in Love County. I'm live at the jail. Amy Jensen, News 12.
All right, Amy, and an overnight fire in East Pushmataha County turned deadly this morning. Pushmataha Sheriff Terry Duncan says a man and woman died in the house fire on Highway 3 east of Raton after a preliminary investigation. Deputies think that the fire was accidental. Neighbors say the house was over 50 years old and didn't have central heat. They believe they were trying to heat the home when it caught fire. The state fire marshal was also on scene today. The victims' bodies have been sent to the Tulsa Medical Examiner's office for identification.
A barn fire in Tom Bean kept crews busy nearly all day long. 6 fire departments were dispatched around 11 this morning to a barn fire at 9G Ranch. The fire has since been put out. Grayson County Fire says that the water supply was an issue. Nobody was in the barn when the fire started, and the cause of the fire is unknown right now. The barn is primarily used for weddings and events.
An Oklahoma man was hit and killed by a semi on I-35 just after midnight. Troopers say 57-year-old Ryan Thomas of Wauketa, Oklahoma, was walking along the southbound lane of I-35 just south of the Gainesville city limits when he stepped in front of the semi. Troopers are still looking into why Thomas was walking along the interstate in the first place.
Turning to weather now, a stiff north wind out there, and it sure is making it frigid for November. Steve LaNore is here with the details. Steve.
Definitely a case of calendar confusion. Feels like January. Of course, the big blob of Arctic air dominating Texoma weather. So already below freezing across the areas north and along this blue line, basically about the northwest half of Texoma. The rest of us barely above freezing. 33 Sherman, Denison, Hugo. 36 in Paris this hour, so no bargain there. Wind chills are really coming down. The winds are cutting through you about 15 to 25 miles per hour. I've seen some gusts up to 30. So here's how cold it actually feels outside. We're running mid-teens north to low 20s to the south and southeast, mid-20s around Antlers and Paris. So how cold will it get tonight? You're not going to like it, but I've got the numbers when I come back.
Well, as you gear up for holiday shopping this season, pickpocketers are also preparing. Officials tell us credit card fraud and thefts increase around the holidays, and crooks have technology on their side.
News 12's Daniela Rivera joins us live from Shermantown Center with more on how to keep your money safe. Daniela?
Well, Maureen and Dan, we hear it all the time. Don't give out your information, protect your card. But newer credit and debit cards are coming with this radio frequency identification chip like this one. And we are told that with the right technology, someone could steal your information without ever touching your card. It's the holiday season, or to scammers,
It's credit card season.
as you head to the stores to shop, others are there to steal your information. Now, newer credit and debit cards come with radio frequency identification technology. It's a chip that officials say is much harder to duplicate than the strip on the back of your card.
And they could just scan that card and they'd get your card immediately, your number, your name, your info. But now with this new technology with the microchipped card, it's fantastic. It's gonna help a lot of our customers and a lot of customers out there do with the holiday shoppings.
Veronica Luna with the First National Bank of Texoma says they'll be issuing chipped cards soon.
Obviously, there's nothing 100%. There have been reports of people using scanners.
While hackers may not be able to duplicate the chip, officials say they can easily purchase an off-the-shelf card scanner and use it to get enough information to make online purchases. And they wouldn't even need to touch your card to get it.
People, can use scanners, can either bump up or rub against people or get within close proximity.
Electronic pickpocketing that works from outside your purse or pocket. But Luna says the new cards will still be more secure than the old ones.
People live off debit card. Nobody carries cash. Their wallets get stolen, their cash is gone. So, the debit cards will be a lot better. These new microchip will be a lot better and more secure for the customers as well.
And if you do have a card with a chip in it that you want to protect this holiday season, we're told you can put it in one of these metal cases. The metal is supposed to help block those frequencies, and if you don't want to carry one of these in your purse or wallet, we're told that aluminum foil can even help. Live in Sherman, I'm Daniela Rivera, News 12.
All right, good advice. Thanks, Daniela. Well, coming up on News 12 at 6, how Denison ISD is working to keep their students safe from gangs.
Plus, several area student athletes sign on the dotted line as they make their college choices known. That's later in sports.
You're watching News 12 at 6 p.m. with Maureen, Kane, Dan Thomas, sports with David Reed, and from the Weather Authority, here's Steve LaNore.
It not only looked like winter, but it felt like winter today. And in the looks department, slate gray overcast sky helping to keep the sunshine at bay and making it really chilly out there. This is our time lapse from our TMC Vantage Point brought to you by our friends at Glenpoe Autoplex and Supercenter in Gainesville. And the numbers tell the story, at least part of the story. 39 degrees Sherman-Denison, 34 in Ardmore, struggling to get through the mid-30s in many areas, and then the wind chill keeping things really feeling like about 20 to 25 degrees all day long. This hour, air temperatures are already below freezing here across about the northwestern half of Texoma. So if you're watching from Ada, 29, Sulphur, a chilly 28 degrees, 32 now, Atoka and Antlers, and Sherman, Denison, and Bonham just hanging on to 33 degrees, Paris at 36. Again, that's the air temp. Let's factor in some winds running about 15 to 25 miles per hour. And these are going to stay up overnight. That's not what you wanted to hear, unfortunately, and that's making the wind chill already down to 16 in Sulphur this hour. Wind chill has dropped now to 21, Sherman and Denison. Paris at 25, one of the, quote, warmer wind chills. Not much of a bargain there, is it? It is really frigid out there tonight. We're looking at the overcast skies. You can see that here on the SAT-RAD. Now, back to the west, there's a weak trough in the upper atmosphere that has been generating this cloud cover. That's going to slide on by, and things should start to clear out a little bit as we get into tomorrow. So here's the trough right now out to the west of us, across west central Texas, western Oklahoma, going to steadily move to the east overnight. And so what we'll have is probably a cloudy start here Thursday, start to get into some decreasing cloud cover and decreasing winds tomorrow afternoon. We're going to like that. Now, the next system to watch for a chance of precip comes Saturday. We talked about this last night. It's a pretty weak system and may have a chance of generating some light rain, maybe a little light snow or sleet Saturday night. The odds are pretty low there. Unfortunately, there's a second system coming in now from Canada. Didn't show up yesterday on the models, but it's coming from way up in northern Canada, has been picked up today, and it's going to be rotating through Sunday and Sunday night. The blue X indicates the core of the energy, which may pass right along or just south of the Red River, wouldn't you know. If that happens, there will be some chance of rain possibly mixing with or changing to snow. I still don't think it's a high-end event. We're going to keep a close watch on it as we go through the next several days. Meanwhile, it's a guarantee it's going to be cold and windy tonight with that Arctic high pressure still coming down the front range of the Rockies, and it's going to pass across northern and central Oklahoma tomorrow. Now, I think Friday morning will be the coldest because skies will have cleared. We'll have pretty light winds by then, and that'll allow for the circulation around the high pressure to maximize the dry air. And with the wind dropping off on Friday morning to probably nearly calm, boy, that's going to be a cold one. Mid-teens north to low 20s south, but again tonight, it's definitely going to be cold, and we'll have the wind chill to deal with tonight. So we're looking at wind chills in our southern zones, Bonham back to Sherman, Denison, north to Durant. About 9 to 13, air temperatures in the low to mid-20s. Now, the wind will start to back off tomorrow. We'll have a decrease in the cloud cover. Still struggling, though, through the upper 30s. Antlers 23 to 38. We'll do about a 40 for the high tomorrow in Paris. Same story. Wind chills tonight, pretty awful, and then tomorrow things start to slowly improve into the afternoon. Low-end temperatures here, 19 and 8 and 19 in Sulphur. Wind chills, though, 7 to 11 degrees later on tonight with that north wind really cutting through you at 15 to 25. Highs tomorrow, mid to upper 30s from Ada back to Atoka, and looking at 21 Ardmore to 40 Gainesville in your spread here. Again, the good news, decreasing clouds, a little bit of sun tomorrow, and also decreasing winds. 7-day forecast. COLD pretty much tells the story of the next several days, but we will moderate a little bit over the weekend, and we have that worry about a mix, especially Sunday or Sunday evening, and then we do finally get warmer a week from now, 54 degrees, which is still below average.
Yeah.
54 degrees.
It's sounding really warm in comparison.
That's what we got to look forward to.
So hang in there.
Thanks, Steve.
Coming up on News 12 at 6, a national program going on at one Denison Middle School working to keep kids out of gangs.
And law enforcement says it works. We'll tell you how.
Well, a national law enforcement program is being implemented right here in Texoma to showcase just how dangerous gangs and gang violence really is.
News 12's Sean Larson went to Scott Middle School to see the impact the program is having on kids. He's live in the studio to tell us if it's working. Sean?
Maureen and Dan, the gang resistance program has been combating gangs for more than 20 years, teaching middle schoolers how to avoid getting pulled into gangs. And for the most part, Denison police say it's been successful.
It's called GREAT, which stands for the Gang Resistance Education and Training Program. It's used all over the world and right here in Texoma, including Denison ISD, where the classes are led by Police Lieutenant Mike Epler.
The kids learn how to focus on respect, how to resist negative peer pressure, how to help others to also make good decisions as well, not just them, but I encourage them to help others when they're struggling.
Middle school teacher Ms. Joya Walters feels this program has saved lives and credits programs like DARE, SANE, and GREAT for decreasing gang activity statistics.
They're able to make better decisions so they don't end up, doing the wrong thing and find themselves in the wrong place at the wrong time when something, tragic could happen. So I do think it saved lives.
Volunteers like Dale Phillips say the idea is to get this information to kids when they are young and transitioning into young adulthood.
I just wish that I could have had a chance to have a course like this when I was in the 7th and 8th grade, because I think it would have made a change in my life.
Epler credits this program for the current gang status in the area.
I don't think we have a problem here locally, no. Certainly you don't have to go very far away to find one, and I like to think that one of the big reasons is because of this program.
GRADE is a 13-week program that every 7th grader at Scott Middle School takes part in. Epler expects it to help another generation of students make good decisions, resist peer pressure, and learn respect. Live in the studio, Sean Larson, News 12.
All right, thanks, Sean. Well, Cowboys never short on any kind of drama, are they?
Yeah, you know, they don't have a game this week, but there's still plenty to talk about with America's team. Always is. Coming up next in sports, Des Bryant tells the Cowboys, don't test my loyalty when it comes to contract talks, and it's signing day for several student athletes around the area. Sports is next.
Now, your award-winning local sports coverage. Here's David Reed.
The Dallas Cowboys have a little downtime to get ready for the Giants. Dallas on the bye this week, which gives us plenty of time to talk about Des Bryant's future with the club and to make sure there is one. Des Bryant sounding like a guy that wants to get paid. Contract extension talks have been creeping along. Des says today that he's a loyal person, but also says that loyalty should not be tested. Des recently changed agents and would like to become one of the top 3 paid receivers in football. The Cowboys have been kind of non-committal when it comes to a long-term guaranteed deal, allegedly because they fear what could happen off the field. Signing day in White-Wright, basketball star Mason Riggins is headed to Long Beach State. Riggins has been a force for the Tigers and is ready to make the big jump to Long Beach.
I love the team. I love the coaches. I was very comfortable down there. We walked around the campus. We ate with the team. We did, we watched them practice, and it was all fun.
Couple of signings in Whitesboro today. First, Bearcat softball star Alexis Van Landingham will play at Oklahoma Christian. The shortstop has been a key part of Lindsay Lacey's squad. Also, Whitesboro golfer Aaron Dobbs is headed to Northwestern Oklahoma State. He liked what the program had to offer, and he also liked Northwestern's campus.
It was a great atmosphere. I love the kids. I love the coaches. And I just think I'd be a good fit there.
Northwestern reminds me a lot of Whitesboro. Small town. It's a small campus, and it's a real nice campus. Love the people there. Real nice coach, and it's a great offer you gave me. I couldn't pass it up.
Hal Lady Bulldogs softball standout Peyton Tenney is headed to Stephen F. Austin to play her college ball. She's been a great third baseman for Hal and also has played some outfield. She's ready to head down to Nacogdoches.
It's a really great opportunity. I'm very lucky. This is something I've been working for my whole life.
So there you go. A lot of great signings, some good kids going to some good schools. Congratulations to all of them.
Yeah, congratulations to all of them.
Good deal.
Thanks, David.
Stick around. We'll check your forecast next.
And welcome back. Looking at our temperature map, slowly but surely the numbers are falling off now down to 32 in Durant, and we're looking at those numbers to continue dropping. With cloud cover, it won't be a dramatic drop, but with the wind blowing, you step out the door, you'll know that, well, something's wrong. It's because it's way colder than it should be for this time of the year. The wind chills right now are running at 17 Ada to about 22 in Sherman Denison Parish. You're still holding on to the least cold wind chill at 26. Now, our attention shifts to the weekend here as a big trough drops out of Canada, and that X indicates the core of the energy with that. There's a possibility of a mix or even some snow over the weekend. Most likely that would be Sunday evening. But this does not look like a major event. We're keeping tabs on it. There could be some precip in there. Temperatures will be right on the line of rain or snow. As you can see on Saturday, a high of 45, and on Sunday, a high of 39. So this would probably be an overnight event somewhere in there if we got it. And it will continue to be very cold for the next several days. The coldest night will be tomorrow night with clear skies.
All right, and you said the wind chills too.
Oh, bundle up. Major. Do it.
All right, good advice. Thanks, Steve. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.
Good night, everybody.